All right, guys, I got to make this video quick because it's starting to rain on me. Got a 2012 Jeep Patriot with a 2-liter engine. Has an issue with a P000A, which is a slow response from cam A and B, or in this case, it's cam A. Camshaft A, slow response. This vehicle, you take it out on the road, it runs perfectly fine until you hit second gear and it just falls on its face and it bogs way out, doesn't want to go anywhere. Otherwise, it runs normal. There's no timing chain rattle, no misfires, no other issues. It runs absolutely perfectly smooth. So what is going on with this thing, right? If it runs so good, why is it bogging out like that? Well, again, the code I was getting was a slow response from the cams. I thought maybe VVT solenoid, so I went ahead and replaced the front and rear, the exhaust, and the intake VVT solenoids. I'll pop this hood real quick. I went and replaced those, had no difference whatsoever. Tried the cam sensor, no difference whatsoever. Pop this hood open. Intake VVT solenoid, exhaust VVT solenoid back here. Cam sensor down there in the back of the engine. Replaced all that, no change whatsoever. Still had the same issue. Again, I didn't hear any timing chain rattle, nothing like that. It's a low mileage engine. So I'm thinking, all right, there can't be a mechanical failure going on. It has to be electrical. Now, we've seen that in previous videos where we just had a TCM transmission control module failure, which is under the dash, and it was causing the transmission to seem like it had mechanical failures and it wasn't shifting, and it was saying the torque converter was bad, all kinds of weird issues, and it wound up being just the TCM. So in this case, after doing all that and nothing changed, I suspected, like I said, another electrical issue. So I went ahead and took this computer out of here, the ECM. You have 3 10mm bolts, 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget to keep your ground wire on there when you reinstall the new computer. Take this thing down to your local junkyard and match the part number up. They'll get you a new computer. This one was 80 bucks. Plugged everything back in, screwed it in, and then went into my Autel scan tool, programmed the VIN from this Jeep into that computer, started right up. The cam and the crank were now in sync, and this thing runs perfectly fine, no issues. So if you're getting a generic singular code, just one code that's kind of vague and says, you know, a slow response from the cam, but it doesn't say anything additionally like, you know, VVT solenoid bad, you know, it might say A or B, it might say you have an additional like a crank sensor bad. If you're not getting any additional codes, I would probably start with this first. Chrysler vehicles are known to have issues with their computers anyway, and that's pretty cheap. It's 80 bucks compared to $100 solenoids and so forth. Anyway, I would do a proper diagnosis. I always recommend that. Don't start throwing parts at it. This is what it was for me. I did not find any solutions online if you Google this code or punch it in on YouTube. But again, ECM was bad on mine. Went ahead and replaced it. Runs great now, shifts through all the gears, plenty of power, and I got to get myself a new cap here. All right, guys, it's raining. Hopefully this helps somebody out. Subscribe if you like it. We go through all kinds of weird stuff with Chrysler vehicles all the time.